myself Nitin. I represent Reasoning Global Applications. Uh, we we are in a business of creating a digital commerce platform, which hosts the number of e-businesses, e-commerce businesses. We help lot of Indian retailers, okay, who want to go online, okay, build a profitable business online, okay. As we are helping the offline retailers, okay, go online, we are also helping lots of startups, e-commerce companies, new ventures to go online. So I would, my presentation, okay, is created for the people, okay, who are looking at the e-commerce as an opportunity, okay, and it will cover also market dynamics a bit, okay. It will add on to Mr. Shailendra's presentation, okay, because we also share the same numbers, okay. So I'll quickly go through the first numbering slides and create a background, and then tell you how exactly we have or what exactly problems are there which can be solvable by the zeal of entrepreneurship, and also I'll quickly add on it how exactly we resolved those issues in our startup. So as I was saying that we are a business of a digital commerce platform. We help retailers use internet and mobile channel, okay, to leverage the customer connection, as well as do the marketing. Our products called as MartJack and MartJack Exchange, okay, helps retailer to come online as well as market to the thousands of or millions of the consumers. We empower right now 5 million USD GMV per month through our platform and services. These are the few brands which are using right now MartJack for managing their online business. You would be surprised to see very niche brands like Adipa, GoGappa are sharing the market with the established brand like Next, DigiWorld, which is a Videocon powered brand, Make My Gifts, a toys brand, a shoe brand, a jewelry brand, a NGO Being Human, okay, using these services and coming online. If you look at the categories which these brands are serving to, okay, you will be surprised to say that, okay, the popular misnomer of only electronic sale online has started shaking up. Niche categories are coming, and consumers are actually getting interested with those categories, buying or engaging with those brands. So when we say a digital commerce platform, the next obvious question is why is really the digital commerce is needed. I'll build on my take on that. Okay, so everybody in this room, okay, will identify with me that today the Indian online visitor or consumer is going online, and they are posting on the Facebook walls, they are tweeting, they are engaging with the audience online and the friends online. At the same time, they are actually leaving the traces of their interests. They are leaving the traces of their wants. These traces and wants can be segmented and created a target audience. That's why the offline brands like Didamas and HCL are going online and tapping on those traces to build a strategy of marketing. At the same time, you will see that the enabling brands like MartJack, IDZ Cash, InMobi are coming and helping these offline businesses use the online medium effectively. We are in this space, the bottom right corner. At the same time, then there are new online businesses like Flipkart, Paytm, Book My Show are also coming online and doing or filling the gap where the offline retailers are not able to fill. There's the same numbers what Shailendra has shared. We are actually a lot of analysts believe that we will follow the trends of China. If you look at the Chinese story, and they also believe that we are 5 years lagging behind the China. So the 17x growth which China has seen in the online commerce is also going to be, our growth is also going to be into similar pattern. At the same time, if you look at the total retail in US, okay, the 5% is of actually online retail. In India, it is less than 1. These numbers actually show you that, okay, there is a potential. There is a potential, and this potential can be extracted by the retail which is offline as well as the new startup. again, to add up on that potential, you have seen that, okay, if you talk about the major revolution, what India has witnessed is the media revolution. It has started 20 years back, and now it has reached to a grassroots of India. That's why the youth from the Bihar comes to the KBC and win the quiz. Okay, but at the same time, media is not only building the awareness, it is also building the aspirations in the tier 2 and tier 3 cities. But the retail channel or the logistic channel, which needs to be there to fulfill these aspirations, is not picking up. So there is the current India is basically the so-called Bharat is about the unfulfilled consumption needs. If you look at the total category growth, okay, which is expected in next 5 years, is going to be double. The category growth is, I am talking about the retail categories. The current consumption of the retail categories is around $400 billion, which is expected to grow $800 billion in next 5 years. At the same time, going by the inflation rates, okay, it is very difficult for the offline retail, large format retail, to scale to that category, to cater to that category consumption and going to tier 2 and tier 3 cities, because the growth, the consumption needs are almost double. Okay, so this suggests that there is a gap and it needs an alternate market infrastructure in the form of digital commerce, okay, to meet this consumption. But at the same time, the digital commerce, as we witnessed in the first session, is not as easy as it seems to be. Okay, there are inherent challenges. Okay, many challenges are because of our government policies, our way of doing the things. Okay, the system. Okay, there is no uniform tax policy still in place. There is no trackable logistic company available in India who goes to tier 1, tier 2 and tier 3 cities effectively. So you will have to build your own logistic solution. The payment is all broken. Okay, at the same time, there is no technology platform, okay, which is very easy to use and is available at the affordable cost, okay, for new companies to come, use the medium and see whether it is working, and if it is not working, go back and change the business model. There is no technology available which is as flexible as that can be. Okay, there are, in the form of, with the advent of cloud, the underlying piece is coming up, okay, as well as with the companies like we are in, okay, the SaaS is pitching in. So that what SaaS is doing is changing a business model. It is basically, SaaS is changing its revenue model, okay, of one-time cost, and helping the companies spread this technology cost over a period of, or over a life cycle of their company. So going by these problems, okay, it is very clear that there is a premise for the internet entrepreneurs, okay, to work in the e-com space. When I say e-com space doesn't mean that, okay, you have to be a physical good retailer. You can be a good service provider. You can create a good technology piece which solves the real retail problems. Okay, let's look at if I talk about a technology company, okay, what are the basic problems, okay, to run an technical company in the India are very different. Okay, our businesses, our clients do not understand that technology is a piece which gives them the ROI. They think that, okay, technology is just a showpiece, okay, which they need to have to show it to their competitors. I have seen lots of business leaders, okay, who has millions of records and of data available, hundreds of reports available. When they don't look at the reports, they just take the decision on their basis of their guts. As well as when we talk about the social media, when we talk about the search campaigns, when we talk about the online marketing, many retail businesses or many businesses in India do not understand the psyche of the online consumer. Do not consider that the India is the one which is sitting in this room. India is a very diverse country. Okay, we have witnessed the people, okay, who do not even understand that after the search, what is the organic search results and what are the paid search results. Okay, so the consumer psyche is different, and those psyche has to be understood by the online retailer. as well as the infrastructure, the consumer infrastructure of broadband internet penetration and logistic and payments needs to be there. And then I believe that the most firing issue at the startup is about understand what problem I am going to solve. Okay, most of the Indian companies or Indian startups believes in a Me Too approach. If something works in a Western world, okay, it has to work well in India. It is not the true. Our problems are different, and that's why our solutions also need to be different. Okay, so we have to really look at the ground problem, okay, and create an Indianized way to solve those problems. Certain things are obviously not needed, and certain things are needed which are not done by the Western world. Okay, that's why the solutions like GharPay, solutions like Paytm are working in India. Also, the technical companies, technology startups need to understand that the only technology is not going to solve the problem. There needs to be an operational innovation at every place. There needs to be good teams who are handling the operations as well as technology to solve the problems there. Going by saying that, okay, what is if there is a premise for the online industry or a technical entrepreneur, what is the consumer, okay, is looking at the online medium? They are looking at the brands. Okay, so every Indian, okay, though he is from Bangalore, though he is from Hyderabad, are very sensitive to the local brands. Okay, we have seen that, okay, the Hyderabadi guy who is even sitting in US and working there for 5 years is as emotional with their local brands as anybody can be there with the Gas and Gap brands. Okay, so we love our Karachi biscuit, we love our Paradise biryani. Okay, so if those brands are online, if those brands are powered, okay, definitely they are going to be sold. Then the Indian consumer sees value very differently. Okay, they see the discount as the impulse to buy, as well as they see that the quality and confidence that they are going to get the delivery right is very important for the Indian consumer. Okay, so when we are whenever we are forming a solution, it is very important that, okay, we create that value proposition so that the consumers keep on getting interested and keep interacting with our brands. Okay, so I believe there are many startup companies here or wanted to go online very soon or wanted to start a new business. Okay, what are our macro drivers? Okay, what is favoring our startup ecosystem right now? Okay, I believe that the VC money is available. Going by the new initial success stories of MakeMyTrip, Flipkart. Okay, it is proven that the Indian entrepreneur can create a business. He can create a business and he can move it to a next level. Okay, so VC money is available, but it needs to be pitched in right in a way. Okay, and you should not build the problem. Okay, what we are doing at very early stages that we are building our businesses for VC and not building it for our consumers. Okay, we have to look at the dynamics of the VC business also. See, VC business runs on they need one success story in 20 out of 20 businesses. Okay, but what about those 19 businesses which are failing? Okay, VC will anyway make a money from the one success story. Okay, but as an entrepreneur, you have to understand that, okay, if you are putting in a valuable time or valuable period of your career, almost 3 to 5 years, okay, you have to build a business which is going to be profitable. VC may not look at the profit the way you are looking at. Okay, their profit is basically looking at the millions of rupees or billions of dollars. Okay, for you the profit is a margin. Okay, which is above your cost price. Okay, if you are doing that and doing it consistently, I believe your business is successful. Okay, you don't need a VC to approve for your business. Rather than VC, okay, there are other channels of money which is coming in market. I believe FDI is going to come. Okay, rather either it will come for 51% or either it will come for 26%. It is going to come and it is going to help the ecosystem of entrepreneurship. Okay, because once the FDI money will come, okay, the money will go into pure retail properties. It will not just go to front end, it will go to a supply chain. Okay, so the logistics will improve, as well as the technology available in the supply chain business will also improve. There will be a global standards which will come into the supply business, and that is going to help the retail. It will going to help the offline retail, as well as it is going to help the online retail. The I earlier mentioned the unfulfilled consumption needs of tier 2 and tier 3 cities. That is going to also help us, help our entrepreneurs or help our startup ecosystem. Then we know that, okay, every value purchase which is made online, okay, 3 purchases out of 5 are researched online. So that's the market, okay, I believe a technical company, technical startup should target. Okay. And then there are affluent class of consumers who are willing to shell extra buck if there is a quality. So I have talked a lot about generics. Okay, I talked about what are the different problems, and I would like to talk about reasoning. Okay, how we have solved every problem by looking at what exact issue, okay, may cause that issue, may have caused that problem. Okay, so we are in this business from year 2007, and I believe that we have crossed the first level and gone to the next level of the business. We started very meek standards. Okay, it was just a 12 by 12 room in the busy streets of Hyderabad. Okay, now we are in a almost 30,000 square feet office, and it is already jam packed. How we have grown is we have grown very organically. Okay, if I say that my office is 30,000 square foot and it is fully packed now, okay, it is not just I have added the people. We have added sheer number of independent teams. Okay, there are almost 20 plus teams who operate in reasoning, who works at different initiatives. Some teams work with the retailer, some teams work with the payment systems, some teams work with the logistic companies, few teams work with the supply chain problems, few teams work with the online marketing. Okay, and then there is a whole piece of technology which is connected to every team. So when we go to a retailer, okay, the first question he asks us is, what is e-commerce? I am talking about offline retail. Okay, I am not talking about the online retailers, because you understand what is e-commerce. When I go and ask my sales team, go and call any retailer, okay, the 80% of retailers ask us a question, what is this e-commerce? Okay, I have heard that, okay, the Amazon is there, then there are few sellers who are selling on eBay. Okay, but what I should do? Okay, what I can do with this? I don't know anything. So our sales team actually, rather than selling our product, converts themselves to a solution advisor. They started sharing vision with them. They create a business plan and also identify the target consumer base for him. Once he is convinced about the target consumer base, he is going to acquire with this digital channel. The next thing which bothers him is, what is the product content? I believe somebody has asked a question to Jitendra, he is my colleague, about the MRP, managing the MRP of the grocery product. He has 2,500 SKUs, and how to manage the stuff is the problem. So to answer this issue, okay, we have created in almost 3 years back a PIM practice in our organization. PIM is actually a heart of any retail business. Okay, if you know, there are 3,000 categories in a popular B2C world. Okay, these ranges from electronics, apparel, fashion, food, jewelry. Okay, and if you expand those categories, they form a tree of 3,000 nodes. Every node has a specific characteristics, and you need to have a data structure available so that you fill up the information in those nodes, so that the product content, which is a heart of any retail business online, gets created automatically. Okay, so this practice we have started in 2007. We have a data structure defined at 3,000 nodes of the B2C categories, as well as on top of that we have almost 1,100,000 SKUs with a rich product content available. So any retailer or any startup who wanted to go online with this electronics or personal care products, they can just use our product data bank as a subscription and start and create the product content on the fly on his site. The obvious issue, okay, which we are talking about session to session, is the payment infrastructure in India is broken. Actually, it is not broken. It is painful. All the systems technically are available in India. There are there are 20 plus payment gateways already available in integrated format on our platform. HDFC, ICICI are very, very good secure payment solutions which actually give you money in T plus 24 hours. So after completing the transaction, the money will be there in your account in 24 hours. The problem is getting the approval, because these payment gateway companies works under the RBI regime. Okay, they have to comply so many licensing policies that retailers keep on doing paperwork for almost 2 months to get a decent payment gateway. Once you get a payment gateway, then there is a process starts for the next 1 month to get a MasterCard enabled on your payment gateway. Okay, so this is basically a process of 3 months, and at the same time you have to build a technical team, integrate with their APIs, okay, as well as do the security and vulnerability testing, because without that, payment gateway companies will not continue to provide you services. They will discontinue. Okay, so as a MartJack, what we have done is we have resolved these problems with the partnership. Okay, we have gone to HDFC Bank and said that, hey, your PG technology is available, and I have a retailer who wanted to come online fast. So what we can do? So HDFC worked with us. We have created a joint team, okay, which can give you a payment gateway in only 15 days approval. Okay, the technology is already integrated. It has been tested by the bank's vulnerability testing team. So that problem is also covered. So then we have gone to another third party, because HDFC is a payment gateway who only processes the Visa and MasterCard. There are like 20 plus more payment options in the form of mobile payments, in the form of cash cards available. So we have gone to an EBS, electronic banking system. There is a third party payment aggregator, and we have built a similar partnership with them. So you get a HDFC payment gateway and EBS in only 15 days, and you start transacting online. So the same thing we have done with the logistic companies. We have gone to the logistic companies like Aramax and said that, okay, hey, if you are giving a premium services to the big retailers like Future Bazaar and Let's Buy, okay, why not you come as a platform partner? Okay, and they come to a platform partner with us. Our systems are technically integrated with them. As soon as the consumer comes on your site, as per his location and as per your weight of product, the logistic shipping cost gets calculated automatically. The masters of PIN code and serviceable locations available. So before accepting the order, your location will be verified, and if the COD service is available there, then only it will be accepted. Okay, so all those logics we have already pre-built into the platform, which actually reduces the COD return rates. And then to enable all this platform, okay, we have a cloud-based SaaS product called MartJack, which allows you to spread the cost of technology over the period of your business. Okay, there is no need to put an investment upfront, and that's why many startups are using our products. I believe there are 3 to 5 startups who are attending this event are basically hosted on MartJack. Once your business is online, you need a marketing and activities, right? Because the way I was just talking to Akash from CTO, and he was saying that there is only 20% in the e-commerce. The rest 80% is all retail. Okay, the way you build a brand in offline, in online also you have to build your brand consciously. You have to spend some money to lure the customers to visit your site and use your products. This actually gives this actually makes loss in the books of any retail business. So that's why we have created an unified product called as MartJack Exchange. What we are doing here is there are thousands of retailers who are using MartJack, okay, and actually having their inventory online with the MartJack. So we are collecting this inventory and creating an unified catalog, okay, which has a huge selection of millions of SKU. These products, this catalog is then shared with the sites which has high consumer base, like HDFC Bank, Smart Buy, and SBI Mega Card, Mega Mall. Okay, these catalogs are available to their consumers. The consumers are coming there and buying. Ultimately, these transactions are going back to our MartJack retailers, and they are getting a transaction without a penny or without a single dollar of marketing expense. So I talked about how we have resolved our problems. resolved the problems and created a company which is now going to a next level. Okay, but it will be very interesting to understand the growth on the time plan. In 2007, I was talking that we have founded with a 12 by 12 office of 2 rooms. In 2008, we started developing our first B2C product. Every entrepreneur in this room will understand what does that mean. Every entrepreneur want to start with the B2C product first, because we see that there is a value which in the product which appeals to large number of masses. So we started looking at developing a product which is a search engine, which is supposed to give you any consumer a best deal available in his local area. But when we are developing this product, we came to know that okay, the best deal is actually available in offline shop. It is not available in any online e-commerce site. So then we started thinking about what can we do to bring this offline information online, and that's the birth of MartJack, which is our flagship product now. So there is always a chance while building a company that what you are intended to do is not which is going to give you exit. So any entrepreneurs need to understand that you have to keep your time to market as low as it can be. Go to market, understand what market needs, learn from the market, and then change your plans accordingly. There is no harm in changing, right? If the market is the greatest teacher, you cannot sit in your offices and try to solve the problems from the one room from your chair. After creating the first product of first version of MartJack, we got a few clients in first quarter of 2009, and then the recession happened. We have been hit hard by the recession. Though the recession was not actually, the credit crisis never hit the Indian market, but then our business mentalities were so down that they have stopped funding the technology projects. Okay, and then we almost the sales was almost gone down to zero. Then we started looking at the other markets, and fortunately or unfortunately, we got to connect with few European clients who also wanted to manage their online business, who are running their online businesses, and they are actually at a good stage, because in Europe the e-commerce is at that level, at that years also was doing good. So they were looking for alternative to be affordable in technology, and they found MartJack very interesting. So we got few clients in 2009, and on those clients we actually sustained that period. At the same time, we started converting all our solution to cloud. So in 2009 itself, we were cloud based. We are the first, I would say, a first large scale implementation of a consumer product on the cloud. We work very closely with Amazon AWS team. AWS was not there that time in the APAC region. They were in the beta mode in the Europe region. So we migrated our technology by taking a risk, but then that risk was taken very, very calculatively, because we know that the retail is a very seasonal business. Okay, the spikes, okay, the need of resources in the season, okay, almost grows 70% more and goes to 30% when it is off. Now we are in 2011, launched 3 products: MartJack, MartJack Exchange, and PIM, and empowering 2,000 businesses, 800 plus brands to transact online. These are the some few points, okay, I wanted to share, okay, to any startup. Okay, these are the key wins during our growth. Okay, as I mentioned, we build a business for our consumers, not for our VCs. We hired talented people, okay, and gave them a key positions and gave them a leadership role. We identified our target consumer very, very keenly. Okay, as a technology company, it is very easy to say to me that, okay, I'll serve not only physical good retailers, we'll also serve to the virtual good retailers, we'll also serve to the services. But we identified that retail is our domain, okay, and we stick to it. Then we always done a marketing by looking at our budgets. Okay, we were very calculated whenever we done the marketing campaign. So these are the actually things what we have not done. Okay, so in our whole journey of 3 years, we have never lost our passion. We have never feared our competition, and we are never deaf and dumb to the markets. Okay, so from here on, we are expected to go to the next level by building a mobile platform and creating a developer ecosystem, so that the new companies, the new entrepreneurs can come, use the platform and develop their own services on top of it. As well as we also incubate few e-commerce companies by our technology and by our expertise in retail category. So that's it from my side.